Welcome once again for another lecture, that is lecture number 6, which we are going to deal with the subjects and the topics subject verb agreement, that is concord, and transformation of sentences plus transitive and intransitive verbs. So, what is a subject and verb agreement? So, it is in general topic which is given to you, that is concord. Okay, now what is the subject and verb agreement? How do we work upon this? So, a subject, first of all, is nothing but a noun and a pronoun, while verbs are all the action words. Whenever we frame a proper statement, we need to have a proper combination of subject and the verb, that is, noun and the verb, pronoun and the verb. I cannot say I are, they is, you am. Okay, I cannot say I are a Superman. No, I am a Superman, isn't it? So how funny it looks like and how funny it sounds if we frame a sentence in an incorrect way. No, this question is not asked separately. This is in general grammar topic, which will help you to frame a sentence properly. Because that is the problem when it comes to writing skills or whenever we write anything, right? A proper framing is a problem for us. So this is going to be helpful in the terms of framing of sentences, right? So how does it work? So that is what in general, quickly, we are going to brush this topic so that you have a better idea. No, we don't have a separate concept of this in the examination. Okay. Just in case they give you, yes, just in case they give you for identification of the errors, in that case, you make, this may be helpful to you. Okay. Yes. All right. So take a look at these two sentences. That is, the players of our team are efficient. On the other hand, the player of our team is efficient. Now, in this case, do you think that these two sentences are valid or are they correct? Yes, they are correct, right? Now tell me, which are the two verbs that we have over here in the two sentences respectively? Yes, are and is. Now take a look at the subjects. Now, which is the subject here in both the sentences? In the first sentence, we have the players of our team. We are not only talking about the players, but we are talking about the players of our team, specifying that, right? So the entire part, the players of our team, is a subject. On the other hand, in the second sentence, the player of our team is a subject. But don't you think there is a difference? In the first sentence, when we say the players, it is plural noun, while in the second one, it is a singular noun. Now with this, in this case, even the verbs are used in that manner. That means subject plural है, तो verb भी plural होगा. If the subject is singular, even the verb is a singular. So this is something that helps us to identify whether the subject and the verb agree to each other or no. So this is what I'm repeating this, that is, the players is going well with are and the player is going well with is. That is, plural subject is equal to plural verb. Now, what is the definition of a subject verb agreement? So the definition is that a singular subject demands a singular verb while a plural subject demands a plural verb. That is the simple principle behind the subject verb agreement. That means noun as well as verb. In both the cases, we have singular and plural. Either they can agree with the same category or they can agree with the different category. So here we go. Let's start with our first thing. That is, what if we have two nouns used, but they convey different ideas or different personalities or different factors. For example, Tom and Jerry dash friends. Now, in this case, do you think Tom and Jerry are single unit or two different ones? They are two different personalities. Hence, we consider them as plural forms. Now, what is written in the bracket is used to be in the present tense. To be form means am, is, are, was, were. These are the to be forms. So, out of them, which one would we use here? So, Tom and Jerry are friends, were friends. We can use such things because these are the plural nouns. And plural nouns use plural verbs. Same goes this year. Karan and Arjun dash taken a rebirth. My goodness. So Jaya doesn't have to wait now. Come on. Used to have in the present tense. Is it have or has? Exactly. Karan and Arjun have taken a rebirth. Again, plural noun goes with plural verb. So this is your first type of subject verb agreement situation. Moving on with the next one. Here we have another situation where, in spite of having two singular nouns, they convey a single unit, a similar idea. That means Tom and Jerry dash my favorite cartoon. Now, in this case, do you think Tom and Jerry are two different personalities or one single unit, one single name? It is one single name. It is like Adi and Manav from Dhamal, right? They are one single unit, isn't it? Yes. So Tom and Jerry is the name of the cartoon. So it is a single unit. So Tom and Jerry. Now we are supposed to use the to be form. So we know what is a to be form. Am, is, are, was, and were. So exactly, it is Tom and Jerry is my favorite cartoon because it is a single term. You see? Same goes with this one. Slow and steady dash the race. Well, it's very easy. Come on, tell me. Wins the race. Isn't it easy? Slow and steady wins the race. Right? Are you guys getting it? See the way you guys are going to learn all these things so easily. Right? So now we are going ahead with the next one. Let's take a look at a third category. Before I introduce to you this particular category, I hope you guys remember that in the previous lecture, right, in the terms of model auxiliary and primary auxiliaries, do you remember the table that we were discussing, that is primary auxiliary and models? And in that, I had presented a sentence which says, not only Ramesh, but also Suresh are smart people, isn't it? Now, in that case, I had used are or is. What was it? Yes, it was is. Why? Because whenever we use not only but also, either or, neither nor, the verb is a singular one. So the correct statement is not only Ramesh but also Suresh is a smart person instead of are, right? But if I say Ramesh and Suresh are smart people, this is the correct way to say it. In a similar way, here we are going to use the same technique. Either the dog or the cat, dash being here, have or has. Exactly, it is going to be has because singular verb. Here we go. Neither she nor I dash your help. Exactly. Neither she nor I need your help. We are self sufficient, isn't it? We are all independent people. We are all adults now. We are grown ups, isn't it? We don't need subjects. We are non finites. Come on, let's go ahead. Here we have another idea where, although we are using either or, neither nor, in this case, we have two plural nouns. For example, either the dogs or the cats dash been here. Have, the dogs and the cats are plural nouns, hence they use plural verb, that means have. Isn't it interesting and easy? Yes. Moving on with the next concept here. Now there is a slight change, but before I move on to this one, yes, here's the difference between dogs and cats. Yes, yes, yes. Right. Yes, it is in the RoboMate. Yes, this is also in the RoboMate. It's available. All right, so I hope everybody is clear with the fact that how the subjects and verbs, how the singular and plural nouns and verbs agree to each other. So now we are moving on with the next concept and the new concept, which is a change. Now read this carefully with me. But if the number of both the nouns is different, that means what if we have two different categories of nouns? One, a singular noun, and another, a plural noun. In such a case, whom are we going to consider? Well, it's easy. We have to consider the noun which is closer to the verb. That means, here we go, either the teacher or the students. Now tell me, in this, which is a singular noun? Teacher is the singular noun, isn't it? And which is the plural noun? Absolutely. Students are the plural noun. Now, which noun is going to be closer to the verb? The students. Hence, we are going to consider the closest one, that is the student. So now, either the teacher or the students. Now, am is our are. Exactly, are allowed. Isn't it simple now? Are is the closest to the students, and students is the noun, which is a plural one, closest to the verb. Here we go with another sentence. Either the teachers or the students. So here we have another variation. The teachers is a plural noun, while the student is a singular noun. So in this case, we are going to use is allowed. Isn't it easy that the students is closer this time to the verb, and that's why we use the singular. Here we move on with another concept. Sometimes we come across words or pronouns like everyone, anyone, everybody, anybody, someone, somebody, no one, nobody, none, or each, one of. In this case, what do you think? These pronouns are singular or plural? Yes, these are singular nouns. Hence, we take up singular verb. So we focus on these verbs. Here we go. Each of the project partners dash responsible. We know each is a singular noun. So we focus on singular verb. So which is a singular verb? Is. Exactly. We don't focus on the partners. We focus on each of. And that's why we get is. Here we go with the next one. Someone dash to be responsible. Someone has to be responsible. Don't we say such things? Exactly. Someone has to be responsible. Isn't it easier and interesting to learn how to frame the sentences correctly? Well, that is a subject verb agreement. Here we go with the next one. Sometimes we come across words like with, as well as, along with, accompanied by, and so on. So these are all the prepositions and the prepositional phrases that are used. And let me tell you, this time, the two nouns which are connected using these are considered as singular. For example, me, along with my mother, are going to the picnic. Is it right or wrong? Or in order to make it easier, I, along with my mother, are going for a picnic. I, along with my mother, are going to the picnic. Is it right? No, it is I am going to the picnic along with my mother. If I reframe this sentence, I get the correct answer, that is am, along with I, which is the verb that we are going to use, that is am. Are you getting it? Never mind, if you're confused, here we go. The house with its furniture dash insured. Now, in this case, are we going to focus on its furniture? No. There are two nouns which are connected here with the word with. So we are going to focus on the first noun, that is the house. Now, in this case, it is. If I reframe this sentence only for your understanding, I can say the house is insured with its furniture. So with its furniture is a phrase. You can use it anywhere. Isn't it easy to deal with this now? Come on, I want everyone to try this one. The ship along with its crew dash lost. Very well. It is. Now you know how to reframe the sentence in your mind. That is, the ship is lost along with its crew. And we are now all going to search for it, isn't it? Let's go someday to search for it, to look for it. Yes, come on, let's go ahead with the next one. Now, here we come with another interesting fact about subject and verb agreement. That is, some nouns are plural in the form. For example, mathematics, right? Economics or politics. In this case, we have S with it. That is politics, S, economics, S, mathematics, S. Well, news, correct? In this case, we consider it as a singular noun. So politics is a dirty game. Isn't it easy? Wonderful. Come on, next one. The news dash true. You were right. Even the news is one of them. So come on, the news dash right. The news was true. Yes. Yeah. Studies. Yes, studies is also a word which we consider for. Yes. Exactly. Okay, come on. So now we are moving on with another concept, that is, what if we have collective nouns? What do we do in such a case? Generally, a collective noun means a plural noun. That means there are many. But in this case, we consider them as a singular noun. If I say the group dash sleeping, in this case, what am I going to say? The group dash sleeping. The group, can I say the group are sleeping? No, the group is sleeping. The same principle works here in the sentence, the pride of lions. We are talking about pride. We are not talking about lions. In order to make it even more easier for you to understand, let me tell you, the pride of lions, the pride of. Always focus on the initial part, that is each of, one of, the pride of. If you focus on these words, you will realize that this particular word is a singular or a plural. So yes, the pride is sleeping, and the pride is of whom? It is of lions. So isn't it easier now to realize? So here we go with the next one, that is the team dash left. Come on, tell me, which is it? The team dash left, has left, because here the team is nothing but a singular noun, isn't it? I'm considering the team as a single unit. Who has left? The team has left. Right? Here we go. But look at this question carefully. The bunches of grapes dash stale. Now focus on the bunches. In this case, it is a plural noun. That's why the verb is also going to be plural one. Yes, the bunches are stale. Bunches of what? Bunches of grapes. Is this part clear to everybody? Singular noun goes with singular verb. Plural noun goes with plural verb. Stale means they have just got, pag gaye, zyada. And when it comes to, when molds attack it, yeah, when it gets rotten, we call it stale. The bread gets to, gets stale or turns out to be stale when it catches mold or fungus on it, that way, right? So is this part clear? How the bunches are going to be the answer for verb. They are going to agree with the verb. All right. So here we have a quick look at the sentences. Come on. Our secret plan dash being discovered. Yes, it is there in your workbook, page number 17, which is what I have marked here. Has. Super. Come on, next. Nobody ever dash sizzling chocolate brownie. Nobody hates. Every piece of an onion dash an extra. See here, every piece, singular. Every piece costs. Yes, every piece costs. Nobody hates. Every piece costs. One has. Every piece has. Right? This is how it works. The suggestions of the boys and the girls are taken into consideration. Yes, we focus on the suggestions of the suggestions. Come on, next. Dash and dash. Dash you dash your meal. Exactly. Did you have your meal? Isn't it a very sweet question? Come on, moving on with the next one. Fast and Furious dash complete entertainment. Yes, this is where Fast and Furious is working as a single unit. It's a movie. So what is a complete entertainment? Fast and Furious is a complete entertainment. It's a whole and soul movie name. The father, along with his sons, dash found. Do we consider the father with his sons as plural? No. We have a preposition. That is prepositional phrase. That is along with. Right? So in this case, we have the father. The father was found along with his sons. Right? It's an error here. Please ignore the error. It's an error. It should have been was. Right? Yes. What is the correct answer here? Was. Yes? No. Every piece costs. Every piece is a single one. Seventh one is in. Yes, the correct answer for the seventh one is was. Right? We are focusing on the father and not on his sons. Remember, the father as well as his sons was found. I and my mother, or I and my parents, are joining in soon. We don't focus on the sons, we focus on the father because of along with. So the correct answer here is was. Come on, moving on with the next one. Let's continue. Much of the machinery in these farms dash unusable. Much is exactly much of it. Much of it is unusable. All boys dash like NFS. What do you think? All boys do like. Yes, it is do like NFS. History and civics dash his favorite subjects. Are we consider history and civics as one single unit here? No. Why? His favorite subjects. It is not subject, it is favorite subject. So history and civics are his favorite subject. So is this clear to everybody? Here we are going ahead with the next concept. Let's go ahead with spotting the error and rewriting the sentence here, which is on page number 18 of your workbook. So let's start with it. She are the type of girl who wants to live in a pink house. What is the correct one? You have to spot the error. Yes, are changes to is. Here we go with the next. He tells us exciting adventure stories. He tells us. Exactly. It is not tell us, but it is tells us. Everyone starts studying with utmost dedication on the first day. Exactly. Everyone starts. See, every piece. No one, nobody hates. See the previous sentences, we were dealing with it. He hoped his batteries was working after the avalanche. Exactly, it is were working. Here we go. One of my friends have a cruiser bike. Can we say one of and have? No, they don't really go well with each other. It is has. It is one of my friends has. Singular, so singular verb. All of us has watched Uri. Who hasn't? Well, it is have because all of us have, right? Yes. Isn't it easy to work upon this? Every task were challenging for the contestants. It is was. Let's go with the next one. Everyone did dressed like superheroes. Isn't it funny? Everyone did dressed. Exactly. Whenever we use do, does, did, we always make use of the base verb that is dress, like, play, remove, etc., etc., etc. Here we go with the next one. The notice of examination bring anxiety. They don't really. It brings anxiety. Yes, which is a fact, which is a truth, isn't it? But you need not worry because now we are dealing with all the best solutions, isn't it? Let's go with the next. Beware, the soup might contains a bat. How tasty it could be. Yes, it is contain and it's not contains. Well, we have dealt with all the questions with ease, and I am glad that everybody has answered very quickly, isn't it? So now it's time to go ahead with the next concept. So, time to go ahead with transformation of sentences. So, we have already dealt with many types of transformations, right? So, which are the types of transformations that we have already dealt with? One is not only but also, no sooner than, remove if and unless, removal of to, and add a question tag. Well, this was your first type. And in the second part, we have dealt with exclamatory to assertive and vice versa, while interrogative to assertive and vice versa. And the last one, assertive, that is affirmative to assertive, that is negative, right? In this case, why I have written assertive and assertive in both the places? Because assertive sentences can be of two types, that is affirmative or negative. And here we are focusing only on affirmative to negative and vice versa change. So let's have a quick look at all of these one by one. There we go with not only, but also. Now, what we have learned in not only and but also, that when two things are joined by and, as well as, and comma, in such a case, we have a golden rule, that is not only before the first thing, but also in place of and, or in place of as well as, or in place of comma. We can use anything, isn't it? Here we go. She played cricket and hockey. So which are the two things here? Cricket is the first thing. Hockey is the second thing. So now what does the golden rule say? Not only before the first thing. That means before cricket, we are putting not only, and after the cricket, that is and, in place of and, we are going to put up but also. That means she played not only cricket, but also hockey. Now, there are many ways to write this sentence. That is not only she played, and so on, or she not only played cricket but also hockey is also right. But in this case, this is a simple statement. Hence, this rule can work here. But when it comes to compound and complex sentences, you will find it difficult to change or put the word not only anywhere in the sentence. Hence, the best rule to follow is not only before the first thing, but also in place of and. So here we are, and की जगह पे but also add करना है, right? Is this part clear to everybody? Come on, moving on with the next one. No sooner than. So in the no sooner than, we have some interesting things coming up. Yes, the golden rule. What does the golden rule say? No sooner से start करो, subject auxiliary swap करो, कॉमा की जगह पे than लिखो, बाकी सब same रखो. Now we can spot here. There is a conjunction. Which is a conjunction? Come on. In this given sentence, which is a conjunction? Exactly, the WH word, when. Now the simplest thing that we have to do is we have to remove that and we have to start the sentence with no sooner. And then the next thing that we do is the subject or auxiliary swap. So anyway, we are going to go step by step. So here we go with the first thing. The first action is no sooner. The second action is than. The next thing, subject and auxiliary swap. Instead of he had, I'm going to write had he. In case of the verb, that is the main verb, which remains as it is. Next, comma की जगह पे than लिखो. That means instead of comma, we are going to replace than. And the rest of the things remain as it is. Let's go with the next one. Here we go with another statement coming up. What if in this particular statement, we do not have auxiliary? So which are the auxiliaries that we are going to use whenever we do not have any auxiliaries given? Very good. It is do, does, did. Yes. Isn't it easy? For present tense, we are going to use do and does. For past tense, we are going to use did. So now we all know when to use do, does, did. It's simple. When the auxiliary verb is not given, use do, does, or did. So in this case, we can find out that this sentence is a present tense. Hence, here we go with the rule. That is, no sooner do I sense danger than I will run. So once again, the golden rule comes in the picture, isn't it? No sooner से start करो, subject auxiliary swap करो, comma की जगह पे than लिखो, बाकी सब same रखो. Isn't it easy? Absolutely. So come on, we are going to the next topic, that is removal of if and unless. Now, in order to make this concept easier, follow my tip, and that is if gets replaced by unless, and unless gets replaced by if. On the other hand, affirmative sentence changes to negative, negative changes to affirmative. Still confused what I'm speaking of? So here we go. Let's follow the rules. If is equal to unless plus not. That means a sentence which contains the word if can be replaced by unless plus a negative word. And a sentence which contains if plus a negative word already gets replaced only by unless. And the third rule here is only plus if is equal to unless plus never. So now it's time to go ahead and apply these rules. Here we go with the first one. What if we have the word if in the sentence? If you work, you will succeed. In this case, don't you think this sentence is an affirmative sentence? and plus we have the word if. That means we are supposed to replace it with unless and make it negative. Very good. So if gets replaced by unless, an affirmative sentence becomes a negative. So unless you work, you will not succeed. Isn't it interesting? Come on, let's go and find out the second rule. If you do not water the plants, they will die. Gardening is a task, isn't it? Not everybody is able to maintain it. So, yes, your parents, your plants always require attention. So, let's go ahead with the concept. If you do not water the plants, they will die. So, we have the words if plus a negative. That means negative sentence has to be changed to affirmative. If will get replaced by unless. So, unless you water the plants, they will die. Yes, you can change the formation of the sentence if you are confident enough to write it. Otherwise, keep it as it is. Let's go with the third one. Tell me the answer. Only if Messi scores, Barca wins. Yes, it's very easy. Only if gets replaced by unless. And instead of positive, we make it negative. Instead of affirmative, we make it negative. So unless Messi scores, Barca never wins. So we have to use the word never. Are you guys finding it easier? So it's time to move ahead with the next one, that is removal of to. So how does removal of to work? So in removal of to, we have two different styles. That is one, to can be replaced with also, as well as, very, or extremely. That is, either we can change it from also to as well as, or very and extremely. While the next one, that is another one, is to plus adjective plus infinitive and on and on. So right now we are only going to focus on the first format, that is what if we have only to, and how do we replace it with also, as well as, very and extremely. So here we have, he has a car and a motorcycle too. So in this case, how are we going to deal with this? Exactly, we are going to replace it with also or as well as. That means he has a car as well as a motorcycle, or he has a car and motorcycle also. Right? But what if we have a sentence like, it is too hot? Now in this case, how are we supposed to deal with this? Exactly, we are supposed to change the word to into, yes, we are supposed to change the word to into extremely or very. So we can say it is very or extremely hot. Come on, moving on with the next concept. Now this is the second type of removal of to that I wanted to clear out. So how does it work? Here we go. What if I give you a shortcut formula, and that is to add in, so add that ni. Yes, I know it sounds a bit weird, but if I say to add in, so add that ni. Now this is a shortcut that I have created in order to make your concept clear and easier. Once again, I'm repeating, to add in, so add that ni. If you read it aloud and repetitive, you will have a clear idea of how this concept works. You only need to repeatedly keep on memorizing this once or twice, and it will be easier for you to refer. Like for example, let's say we have this sentence, the teacher is too short to see the board. How unlucky the teacher is. In this case, if I focus on the shortcut to add in, so add that ni, I will realize that in this concept, I have three things. To add in. What is it? To plus adjective plus infinitive. And when we have to add in, it gets replaced with so add that ni. That means to adjective plus infinitive gets replaced by so plus adjective plus that plus a negative word, that is cannot and could not. Now, don't you think this particular concept is easier for you to understand and by heart with the help of these shortcuts? To add in, so add that knee. To add in, so add that knee, right? So to plus adjective plus infinitive changes to so plus adjective plus that plus in plus negative. Exactly. She is so short that she cannot see the board. All right then, so now let's get done with the last concept of the day, that is add a question tag. So it's very easy when it comes to question tags. So when do we use a question tag and why do we use it? In order to assure whether what we have said is right or wrong. For example, Ram is playing, isn't he? Don't you think we are confirming, we are assuring ourselves? Yes, it's an assurance that we, yes, give it to ourselves. In this case, isn't he is a question tag. Now, what do you think question tags are based on? Absolutely. They are based on the verbs. So that is what we are going to check now. So here we have Ram is playing is the statement which is given to us, and isn't he is the question tag. So what does the rule say? How to remember all these things? Let's go. Whenever we have affirmative verb, that is whenever we have affirmative sentence given, we use the negative question tag. But whenever a negative sentence is given, we use an affirmative question tag. Once again, what if we don't have any auxiliary verb given? Which is the verbs or which are the verbs that we are going to use? As simple as that. It is do, does, did, or don't, doesn't, didn't. Many of us have this doubt. What if we have am, is, are, was, were, like words given? So in order to make it easier, these are the to be forms. And whenever we have to be forms given, they always use the same words as a question tag. Moving on. Sometimes we have order and a request. So in this case, order always carry will you as a fixed question tag, even if I put up as positive or that is affirmative or a negative statement. For example, stand up right now, will you? Don't stand up right now, will you? It's an order. But in the case of request, let it be affirmative or a negative, we are going to use 40. So that's how we deal with order and a request. On the other hand, when it comes to a suggestion or advice, once again, we have a fixed question tag, and that is shall we, right? While for am, we use aren't I, which is again a famous one and a fixed one. But on the other hand, when it comes to everyone, anyone, someone, somebody, it all depends which pronoun are we using. And based on that, we use the verb. Once again, we have a subject and verb agreement here. Have they, uh, has she, have you, am I, aren't I? So it all depends on the subject that we are using, that is the pronoun that we are using, the question tag, we put up the verb. So with this, we are done with the question tag and its rules. Now, here I stop the lecture for the day. So see you again, once again, in the next lecture that is on Monday. Have a nice day. Good night.